Gaming NBS episode 266 being recorded Monday, October 28th, 2019. Welcome to Gaming NBS Tabletop RPG Podcast. I'm Sean.
I'm Brett. Welcome to the show. Welcome back, folks. Glad everybody's on board. Sean, how the hell are you, man?
Oh.
Did you get any gaming in this last weekend, though?
No.
Oh, I did.
Oh, that's right. Delta
D&D
Green.
Friday night, and then I ran Delta Green on Saturday.
You could talk about it, but then you'd have to kill me.
Well, just kill you like I did those three player characters. Hey-oh!
Heyo.
Yeah. That was, it was good. I described the scene in the desert outside of Tikrit. They understood what it was. The hole in the ground, the lorry just barely balancing over the hole. What are they going to do? There's rock outcropping up there. They neglected to check the rock outcropping, which is where the cultists with the AK-47s were hiding. A couple full auto bursts, 3 rolls on lethality, and 2 dead, 1 wounded. And then Lenny's character went temporarily insane. Climbed down a hole, stomped across a miniature version of the city, ran down to a dark tunnel, out into a black, inky lake, where he saw a horrible plastic, multicolored thing made out of some bizarre textured mouths and eyes and whatever, and the Shoggoth ate him. So that was good. So yeah, it's getting there.
Sounds like money well spent.
It is money well spent. I'm having a good time.
So how many have you killed so far?
4. I'm spreading it around a little bit. Alpha got gacked twice, so I feel like I gotta move it around a touch more. But anyway, wrong place, wrong time. I tell you, man, that lethality roll in Delta Green, that's no joke when you hit it. 10% chance. Clack. Oh, 8. Clack. Oh, 5. That's it. You two motherfuckers dead. Oh, this one, you just take 8 points. 8? Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. It was very good. Lots of tension, lots of what the hell is this? What's that? Oh my God, is that a snake person? All that stuff. It was a damn good time. So now it's all getting ready for Gamehole. Are you ready for Gamehole? Got your games ready? You're totally done. You have completely prepped. Pre-gens are out. You're ready to roll. Maps are done.
No. No. Oh man, I am just.
I tell you, I have found the D&D Beyond. I've got some pre-gens to do for 5e. And D&D Beyond for a pre-gen. I could do the random thing, or I can plug them in. It's a really nice way to go to make pre-gens. So I've been slowly but surely cranking away on those, making sure I've got those for my 3 games. So it should be good.
I have some pre-gens made. I have sorted no miniatures. Hopefully I can just go right to where I think they are, grab it, open it up, and go, here are all the miniatures I need.
And then you wake up in a cold sweat, realizing, oh my God, Gamehole is tomorrow. I forgot to look for miniatures.
Oh, God.
It's going to happen. It's
I
coming.
know. I'm going to get up at the ass crack of dawn, rushing around and stuff. I don't know why. I've known this damn convention's been coming for the last year.
Well, the thing that's funny is it only comes every year now. So, sorry. Anyway, when are you running? I'm running Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. What are you doing?
Man, so am I, dude.
Are you?
LARP at 10 on Thursday, which I should probably reread again. Even though I think the LARP is very, like...
It's a damn good thing Susan's going to be at the con to hand out candy at our booth then.
Well, I start at 10, dude. They don't trick or treat till like 6, right?
I don't know, but just make sure you're there.
So I have the deal, 10 to...
Oh, that's right.
I think I signed up for 3 hours because I don't know how it could be an hour long. LARP.
Yeah, that's one of those games that depends.
I just don't know. And then Friday is my Tomb of Horrors.
Okay. And Saturday is the big Great Gatsby.
Oh, God,
Gatsby and the Great Race.
Saturday, I just don't know. Like, I have time to talk to people that have run it. Like, Corey will be there, and I'll be like,
you're going to have a blast.
Come here, man.
Come here. Help me out.
How do I do this?
Am I okay? What happens if I fuck it up?
I know the premise. I know how to start it, but there's some nuances that I have to be aware of, or I could really... I don't think I could screw it up because I think the players are going to be so screwed up themselves they won't actually have any idea whether
One of the
I'm
best things
doing
about a
things right.
Cthulhu game, a Mythos game of any kind, is at a certain point like, wow, this makes no sense. This keeper is magical. He's got this sense of insanity and wonder. It's as if he doesn't even know what's going on.
There's people that are gonna listen to this and they're gonna be in my freaking game and they're gonna be like, I got your number, buddy.
I got your number, you dumbass son of a bitch. I am actually, I'd set up to run one Thursday, Friday, Saturday, as I said. I'm like, this time. They all are at 1 o'clock. So 1 o'clock Thursday, Friday, Saturday is Avalon time, apparently. So there we go.
Are they all the same game?
No. I've got Butcher Baker, Candlestick Maker, Fish Story, the Three Guys, and then Vera's Wrath, I think in that order. But anyway, should be good.
It's going to be fun. Oh, and Friday night, I think we'll do a soiree. See, we probably won't. So I got to get this episode out beforehand, too. God.
Well,
I don't have enough going on this week.
Yeah, you're good. You got plenty of time. Plenty of time. All right, so let's get through this then. We got to get going. We got to cut your time here.
Yes.
So evercon.org, talking about cons, go out there. One of our listeners, Robert, he's running 5 Torches, DCC, Astonishing Swordsman, as I said. I would love people to go out. This is in January. I know it's a ways out, but if you could get your event submitted, the sooner the better. We've had a good flurry. I think we're at over 100 now. But the more events you get in, obviously from just a con running perspective, the more impressive it is to the prospective con goer. We see all the different games. I always love and push heavily for more RPG events. We get a fair number of them, but we also have a good number of card games, board games, card game tournaments and stuff. But it's always fun the more and more RPG events we can get. I got AJ's going to run a 5e game. Ilana's thinking about running something. So, hey, the more you could do, the better off you'll be. So hopefully we'll see you there. The last bit of news on the Avalon Kickstarter, I mentioned this last time, the Master Archivist Collection. If you're a backer, you should have your links and the PDF out there. I'm going to get a copy of that in hard copy soon once Phil and the boys at Encoded review it. So far, it's looking pretty good. I've heard some nice things back from our backers who are pleased with the contents and how it's laid out and all that good stuff. So that makes me feel really good. And I did find out that on Drive-Thru, The Streets of Avalon is a copper bestseller.
What?
So
Get out of here.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. That's very, very cool.
Wow.
I've got some copies in hardcover and softcover of the Streets of Avalon book I'll have at GameholeCon to sell. If anybody is interested in stopping by and picking up a copy, I will have a couple. I should say more than a couple. I've got a stack. So we'll see. For all I know, I'll be there all bright-eyed and say, maybe someone will buy my book. And I'll be like, no one bought my book. I'll have to use this for kindling. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, shall we move on, man? Random encounter?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's move on. Where is the button? Random encounter. This is where we field voicemails, emails, and comments from the social media.
You start.
Yeah. Bill Durfee writes in very briefly. In session 0, we try and set SOPs. I think he's talking about.
He says it immediately after. Standard operating procedures.
Well, I know, but I was wondering what he was referring to. What topic? What episode?
Oh, I see.
Anyways, in session 0, we try to set SOP, standard operation procedures. Actually, standard operating, but that's okay. On things like marching order, searching rooms, types of encounters. So unless they are stating something different, I know where they are and what they are doing. We would use the term Scooby-Doo it.
Instead of Greyhawk it.
Well, yes.
I like the way that Bill's doing this, though.
Yeah.
Yours, I'll give Doc a little bit of shit here. When he holds up the thing and says, I Greyhawk it, he's being cheeky. Like, wow. Sean, you know the drill.
He does cheek away.
He does indeed. But Bill here is saying, look, what we do is say we have a standard operating procedure. This is what we do. When you say what our marching order is, write that down. We'll write it down. This is how we search rooms. This is what we do. So when the game master says X, we don't get to say, I would have done, or you can't because we would have. If I'd have seen that, I would have. That helps to eliminate those things. And Bill, I think that's a damn fine idea. Especially in a dungeon crawly type of game or anything with a repeatable procedure like that. That's a damn good call. I like it. Like everything about it. All right. Thank you, Bill. I'll move over to Greg Palinchek. Comments on tracking character wealth. Regarding your response to Suboptimal Play's email about the family sword, I know in Pathfinder there's a cleric spell that can... Wait a minute. Is this the right one? No, this isn't. Oh, hang on. Starting over. Regarding your response to Suboptimal Play's email about the family sword, I know in Pathfinder there's a cleric spell that can make a normal item masterwork for cost of the monetary difference between normal and masterwork. After that, give them enough money to be able to enchant that sword as needed. I like that. Another good way to go about things. Thank you, Greg. Good stuff.
Yeah, thanks, Greg.
I'll tell you, man, he mentioned the thing in Pathfinder, and I'll throw this out there. There are a lot of different... I completely forgot in 5e. In combat, there is a help action in combat. You can help and provide advantage to the person you're helping. I had no idea. I completely glossed that over. And playing D&D this last weekend, I went, wait a minute, I remember. I offered help to a few people, and lo and behold, took down the demon. So there you are. There's a lot of golden nuggets lodged away in some of these rule books that we think we know like the back of our hand, but sometimes there's a little sneaky something hanging out there. It's worth looking into.
To include what Robert Nemeth, that's a good transition, Brett.
Yeah, I've worked on it all day. Thank
Robert Nemeth writes in on the forums. He points out this as he responds to description expectations. Sean, from page 178 of the 5e PHB, box in the right column. When your character searches for a hidden object, such as a secret door or trap, the dungeon master typically asks you to make a wisdom perception check. In most cases, you need to describe where you are looking in order for the DM to determine your chance of success. For example, a key is hidden beneath a set of folded clothes in the top drawer of a bureau. If you tell the DM that you pace around the room looking at the walls and furniture for clues, you have no chance of finding the key, regardless of your wisdom perception check result. You would have to specify that you were opening the drawers or searching the bureau in order to have any chance of success. There you go.
Well, that's nice. That's a combination. Like, look, what are you doing? Okay, give me a roll.
Give me a roll.
And that's similar to what Sean and I had kind of outlined, I believe, when we said, hey, the better the description, the lower the DC.
Yeah, but he's specifically saying, look, it's in the rule book.
Yeah, and in the rule book, this is stating, look, y'all say you're looking everywhere but the bureau. Roll whatever the fuck you want. You ain't going to get it.
Right.
You got to look in the bureau. And you got to tell me you're looking in the bureau. I like it.
Thanks, Robert,
cool.
for
Thank you.
Putting us in check again.
Yeah. No, that's very good. Very, very good.
Right.
What's next?
We have DM Kojo with a voicemail, which is going to be pretty interesting, I think.
Oh, lay it on me, big guy.
Hey, guys, it's Kojo. Hey, just wanted to call and give a quick report on a game I ran last night that brought up a bit of a question for me. I was running a game for my son's birthday party for 9 middle schoolers, 8 boys, 1 girl. And I've run for middle schoolers for years, as you know, and so I'm well familiar with this. But I have seen a trend the more and more I play with these middle schoolers that, is kind of concerning and frustrating. So it was a one-shot, so they all got pre-gens, and the pre-gens started at level 5, and they had some magic items and such. And one of the players, right from the beginning, first thing he says is, I want to steal the ring from this other kid. And so with the middle schoolers, I have a pretty strict no player versus player stuff policy. So I said, no, you can't do that. And I tried to explain to him, these are your friends. You've been adventuring together for a long time. Why would you do that? And then later on, I had a kid who was upset that because we were playing an older school game, that the race and class options that he wanted weren't available. And he was like, well, that's dumb. I should be able to do what I want. I said, no, you can't have a half orc paladin in this game. That's not part of the rules. So he thought that was dumb. And then everything out of their mouths is this is silly, this is dumb. At one point, one kid said, well, this is D&D, it's fantasy, I can do whatever I want. And you're the dungeon master, and you should be able to do whatever you want and change whatever you want. And I said, well, yes, I could, but this is the game we're playing, the rules we're playing by. They didn't seem very interested in playing by those rules. And I assured them that 5e, even though I don't play it, I'm sure has rules and things that limit some of their options, and they can't just do absolutely anything they want. Finally, when one of the player characters died early into the session, the kid was like, well, can I come back? And I said, no, you can't just come back. And you chose to leave the party, and your character died, and I'm sorry, but that's it. Well, can I come back as a ghost? Can I come back and give them advice? Can I come back and do this? Can I come back and do that? And, I shot all that down, but it was just very frustrating. And I've seen a trend with younger players coming into the game, this idea of I should be able to do what I want. And it's frustrating. So just wanted to hear your guys' take on that. Appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.
Hey, well, hold on a second. Oh, hey, Kojo, can I do that? No, you can't. DM Kojo, Buzz Killer.
I'll tell you, man. All right, so this may completely derail the rest of the show here, or maybe not. I don't know. But so not a long time back, a while back, I brought up this story about my son AJ birthday party, and his buddy Danny wants to stab the dire boar in the nose.
Yeah,
Danny. And I say no called shots. And a couple of listeners are like, Brett, you dick, let him have a called shot. That's how you get people interested in the game. And my retort was, okay, so when do I take the wind out of the kid's sails?
Oh,
right? When he learns that, hey, the rules don't allow it. And I honestly think, Kojo, and if we see each other at GaryCon, I know we'll probably talk about this, but I'll tell you, man, as gamers, what you're running into, we do this to ourselves. We tell people, prospective players, oh, it's a role-playing game. You can do anything you want. It's awesome. You just tell the dungeon master, tell the game master what it is you want to do. And Sean will just tell you how hard it is. If you can't do it, he might say, oh, it's really, you can't do it. But anything goes, man. Anything. It's great. Everything you want to do is possible. We fucking sell that to people.
Yeah, we tell people
that.
That's the deal. Hey.
Until you've played X number of times and we drop the rule hammer on you. I'm sorry. But this is Star Trek. You don't get a lightsaber, dick. And then and then everyone's hearts are broken.
Boo.
Boo.
Boo. Hey. No lightsaber in Star Trek?
Oh. I'm serious though. There is, I think. So my first thought, Kojo, is I think I don't know the kids, and I don't know if you have a background with some of these kids, but my first instinct is they were not in the mood to play D&D with you.
Oh.
And I have had this with teenage kids, middle school kids, 20-somethings. They're just not, they say they want to play, but they're more in a mood to play grab ass, fuck around, do something stupid. They really don't want to focus. They don't want to play. And that, I want to steal this person's ring. I want to do this thing. I have played at the DC Everest Gaming Club, and they had a couple kids who were troubled youth and had a hard time getting attention at home and whatever, and they would act out in different ways and whatnot. And I knew who the kids were, knew some of their parents and some of the struggles they were going through, and one of the reasons they were in the gaming club was for socialization, so on. But these kids would have very kind of quasi-aggressive, weird behaviors like this. And then I kept thinking to myself, yeah, I kind of did stupid shit like that too when I was 10 or 12 or even 16 playing with my buddies. But I'll tell you, man, a lot of times when I think back on it, maybe it's rose-colored glasses to the past, but a lot of times when my friends and I got together and the game's completely derailed, we were there ostensibly to play Dungeons & Dragons, but we really didn't want to play. We just wanted to hang out. It was an excuse to be there and just talk shit. So I don't know if you ran into that, Kojo, where you had a group of kids who were like, oh, yeah, let's play D&D. And then all it took was one malefactor to say, oh, well, that's stupid, which is a thing kids say. That's dumb. That's lame, or whatever phrases the kids today are saying. And it kind of sets a tone. And this idea of I should be able to do whatever I want, I think that's something that we as gamers, honestly, we dig that hole for ourselves sometimes when we pitch the game to people. But I would not doubt, Kojo, that some of the kids at that table, all the ones who were complaining, really didn't want to play. They just wanted to hang out. Sean, what do you think? Have you seen that before? Have you seen that type of thing before where people show up and they really don't want to play? They just want to just want to bullshit, eat chips, and drink beer. Not that these kids were drinking beer, but even with adults, I've seen this shit, man.
Hey, Danny, you do drugs, Danny?
That's
No.
that's what it was.
Family-friendly podcast here, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
You know, I think it's just, you know what I think it is?
What do you think it is?
I think
It's
Kojo.
goddamn kids.
I, th-
No, sorry. What is it?
I think Kojo's got the wrong game group.
That's what I'm saying. I think you're right.
Have Danny run that shit. Hey,
Stab him in the nose. Go ahead.
that's
He'll let you do
Danny
that.
or AJ or Alana to frickin' roll that stuff for him.
Actually, Alana's more of a stickler for the rules than I am.
Well, maybe she could crack the whip though and not get into trouble.
Do you run into that even with adults though? How come I can't? I should be able to do it. I should be able to do what I want.
Well, I don't
have
know.
you run into that
I
shit?
mean, do you count Jeff as an adult? I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I mean, the jury's out. It's only been, he's over 30. I'll say that.
Well, I've seen this at cons. I've played with grown men and women like this, and I've played with kids like this. I was a kid like this, where it's like, well, how come I can't? Well, that's lame. How come I can't be the first half-orc paladin? Why can't I be the first one? And in a one shot, you're like, look, there's no, not for right now. That's not the point of this. For a campaign, perhaps if Kojo was running an old school campaign and they said, look, I wanted to be this thing, Kojo could say, and Kojo, you're not here, so you can't. So I'm speaking on your behalf, obviously, but you might be like, you know what, Sean, little young Sean, I'll let you be that. The very first half paladin or half orc paladin. Yeah. Boy, look at you, Eager Beaver. Here you go. Yeah. You're all happy and ready to roll. Maybe that's a thing. I don't fucking know.
I would love for Kojo to run that game exactly like they wanted it and see what would happen. Besides total and utter chaos.
Which is interesting because sometimes when I have done that with kids, I'm like, fine, fuck it, whatever.
Right.
And they walk away going, oh, that game was awesome. I'm like, it was nonsensical garbage.
Yeah.
This was like a bowl of Lucky Charms. Ostensibly, it's cereal. It's not cereal. It's sugar. But it was like, yeah, it was, Lucky Charms with nothing but marshmallows. Okay, kids, I guess you could say Brett gave you cereal for breakfast, so that's okay.
If I were Kojo, I would probably be like, hold on, Danny. Hold on, Junior.
Easy kid.
Go to the liquor cabinet, pull out a bottle, put it on the table, and then go, all right, so what do you want to do? Do you want to kill that player character? Give me some rolls there, Danny.
And just let it slide.
Let it roll. Hey, you want to pick their pockets? All right. Take a couple swigs of a highball every few minutes, and you'll
Just
be good to go.
ease your pain. your inner game master who's screaming at you.
Gaming and BS does not condone the use of alcohol or drunkenness. Please, game master sober.
Yes, very true. Especially if you're underage.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Now if we take a serious, maybe if we try to take this a little more seriously, his pain has been my pain multiple times. And I'm like, you guys said you want to run a serious game. I'm trying to run a game. Here's the rules. This is a one shot, a single event. Can we please just play the game? Right. And this is what you've talked about this too, where players show up and don't want to engage in the thing that's there. Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of an asshole player move. And I think, excuse me, sometimes the answer is fine. You guys want absolute fucking chaos? I'll give you absolute fucking chaos. So fine, do whatever you want. You can do that. I guess part of me, though, is that because this was for Kojo's son's birthday, Kojo, what you're doing, I'm assuming, is what your boy wanted, what he wanted to run. So the other thing that's unfortunate that I feel, if I were you in that case, one of my son's friends is there. My son's expecting this to be a fun experience, and a really good time. And this other person, you're trying to do your best. Your kid loves playing with you. He understands what's going on. This is fun for him. And someone else says, that's stupid.
Yeah, that's not cool.
As a dad, I'm like, you just called my son stupid. Now I'm pissed at you, little shit. This is what hits me. Is I'm like, this is a thing you and your son like. It's a party. It's a thing he's asked for. and somebody's calling it dumb. That's just, that kid is rude. That's rude behavior. That's inappropriate, right? I've gamed with game masters. I do not like the way they run games at all. I've been at conventions. I've been at the game hole with a game master I was not keen on. It was terrible adventure.
And you totally were like, this game is dumb.
Yeah, exactly. you bastard. And I threw soda at him because that was the way, that's how you do it.
That's how you resolve things.
And Kojo's in almost a no-win spot where, if he lets it go crazy, if that's where it was really going to go, then he's disappointed in his son. And if he puts too much of a clamp down on everything, then people start dissenting and not doing stuff. I don't know if it's... I honestly, Kojo's saying he's seeing a trend in this, and I think that... I don't know if it's a trend or not. Because whenever I tell anybody about RPGs, one of the things that comes out of my mouth is unlike Skyrim, World of Warcraft, whatever, online, there's no preset boundaries for stuff. If you want to try to do something crazy, there's a chance you can. You have a list of skills. You can do different. Tell me what it is you want to do, and I'll tell you what happens. That's kind of cool. We love that narrative, story building stuff, but you have to have. There's got to be some boundaries, right? And somebody out there's probably saying, no, you do whatever you want. And there's no reason that kid couldn't have had everything he wanted to be. How come you wouldn't let him do it? It was just a one shot.
That's what's wrong with society now, Brett.
Well, that's the shit
We
I
let
got.
kids do whatever the hell they want nowadays. That's why we're in this mess.
Well, I got a little crap for like the Danny thing. Like, how come you didn't let him do this? Like, well, because no. I made a ruling. As game masters, we make rulings all the time.
I mean,
because I don't like the kid. I don't want him to have any fun. He said no. He said something. He said something I was doing was stupid earlier, like 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
Oh.
I got the little fucker back.
Wow,
That's
there
what
you
happened.
go. That all comes out now, finally.
Yeah, it's all good.
So, fine. There is no answer, Kojo.
I don't know, man. I honestly, Sean, I think you may have well hit it on the head, though. It's almost...
Find a different
think
game group. Hey, quit gaming with 13-year-olds, Kojo.
No, seriously, though, I think what you said and what I said, if you smash those two things together, I think that might well be the answer. It's a group of kids where some of them, because it doesn't sound like all of them, there was a couple pick ones in there that did not want to do what you were doing. I personally, until I have more data, I'm stuck on the fact that I don't think someone actually wanted to game. The thought of it was fun. Then they sat down, realized it wasn't quite what they wanted to, what they really wanted to do, what they thought it would be. So they just started to pick and be kids. Because unfortunately, that's sometimes how kids are. And I don't really think those kids were the largest dissenters really wanted to play. Even if you let them have whatever they wanted to, they would have escalated on you. I've seen that before with kids, gaming and other ways with kids. But this might be a case of, take Sean's point, is you've got a bad gaming group. And it's not the whole group. It's those kids who were not having fun. My assumption, Kojo, was that the other people playing with you, your son and some of the other kids, were having a good time. And, I mean, assuming that they were indeed having a good time, then you're doing the right thing. A couple people not having fun isn't a failure, right? It's just a couple people who weren't a good fit.
I just picture Kojo like, hey, we're going to play this role-playing game. Well, we don't want to play. We're playing it, or you're going to have fun.
God
Everybody's
damn
like,
it, sit
Can
down.
I do this? Can I do that? No, you can't do that. Now, get in there, Johnny, and freaking run through there. Tell me what you're going to do.
Unless Kojo's a much bigger bastard than I think he is, and I've met the man a number of times in person. He's a very nice guy. I can't see him doing that. That doesn't make sense.
He totally made those kids play role-playing games.
They didn't even want to. They didn't even want to do it. Yeah, that's the deal.
No, Mr. Kojo, we don't
I don't want
want
to play. Too bad. God damn it. I hate coming to your house.
It's either that or ditch digging. What do you want?
I mean, if you go back, this is actually oddly tied together here. Robert brings up the whole, hey, 178 of the 5e Player's Handbook. This is how you search for stuff. The perception check description we just read. the Pathfinder rule for making a normal item a masterwork item and so forth. Maybe we as game masters or gamers in general, when we're introducing the game to new players, we explain a whole lots of things. Almost anything is possible. You operate within the genre, you operate within the setting and the rules. So there are rules that help govern certain things and make sure everything's at a level-ish playing field. So we all know how the world operates. It's kind of how physics and gravity, blah, 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 whatever analogy you want to make. But maybe that's a thing that would help some newer gamers understand that, yes, you can do almost anything, but it has to be within the bounds of the game that you're playing, because it's not freeform anything goes storytelling, although I'm sure there are some games out there that are very much like that, or can be. And yeah, you can break every rule and let them do whatever the fuck they want. You can totally do that. I think that way after a while lies madness. And unless that's your shtick, even in Paranoia, where the game is the computer will kill you. We've got X number of clones. Bad things happen to you all the time. Everybody's a member of secret society, which is illegal and punishable by death. Everyone's a mutant, and that's being one is illegal and punishable by death. That game has systems built in to enforce and have that fun.
I think
Yes.
Kojo's running the wrong game.
You should be playing Paranoia for these kids.
Paranoia or Toon.
Or Toon. Yeah. Here's a slapstick. Here, go to town, kid.
Can I have an anvil? You bet, little Johnny.
You bet, Howard the Duck. Go for it.
Can I have a big hammer? Of
Yes.
course you can, Sally.
Wang. So, Sean, when you've talked about gaming with people and whatever, do you sell people on the whole? You can do whatever you want. Is that a part of your pitch when you talk to people about gaming, or do you not sell people, new gamers, on gaming? And if not, why?
I don't necessarily say, hey, you can do anything. Like, sky's the limit, man. Whatever you want to do.
You've never said that? Anything
I
like
don't
that?
think I've gone as far as that. I've gone as far as you can do whatever, like your character. I think the people I play with, I think, are under the impression there's certain boundaries within the dynamics of the group. You're
just not confident. You're just not confident enough in yourself as a gamer to play with brand new people. No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing. Zap.
Yeah. Duh, Brett. I mean, why would I play with anybody that doesn't know how to play? It's kind of like,
that's kind of like, why am I playing football with babies? Someone's gonna get hurt. That's what's gonna happen.
That's right. So I think it's just a matter of. So I don't know. I mean, yes, I think I've said, yeah, you can. I mean, what do you want to do? You can do you can do this, you can do that, you can do this. I mean, but if somebody said, well, I want to jump up like Superman and fly, and like, well, not necessarily in this game.
But it's a fantasy game. I should be able to do whatever I want.
Well, see, that's the point, right? Like, you kind of have to set the universal expectations for the setting and the group dynamic and everything else. So, I mean, but the people I play with, like, I don't play with a lot of kids, so I don't get into a lot of kids that are like, wow, I could do anything. Okay, I kill this person, I take their stuff, and I don't know, can I find a dragon to ride on? Right? I think it's more in the moment, and somebody that's like, okay, I'm going to make a character concept. I'm going to be, so Vicky's made up her third character for Tomb of Annihilation. So she's modeled her after Lara Croft, right? She's she's like a archaeologist.
Archaeologist.
Yeah, kind of an archaeologist, explorer type
Mm-hmm.
that is a rogue. And I
Got
think
it.
she's making her a shoot 'em up rogue, maybe. I don't know. But, you know, there's a particular, like, I'm going to go in and be kind of badass and
Yeah.
slide around floors and
Well, did Kojo say he gave these
Tumble.
guys pre-gens? These are pre-gens, right?
I don't know, man. I missed it.
Shit.
Are we gonna talk about this, or are we on a topic?
We're talking about this right now, God damn it, because I'm
Okay.
stuck on it.
All right. Well,
Don't derail me.
I don't think there's a wrong or right.
This is my show with you. We can talk about anything we want. There are no rules.
I have mute buttons.
Ah, shit. So Sean's like, so, case in point, Brett
Hey,
can
Brett.
pitch a fit if he wants to.
Go ahead, Brett. What were you saying?
Oh, well, I was going to talk about, oh, damn it. Look at that. I'm sad.
But let's look at the situation in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
Kojo is quite a bit different in age
Then,
than the kids.
yeah, I'm different in age than most kids, yes.
Right. But with that difference comes we don't game like we're 13 anymore, Brett.
No, last time I ran I ran at AJ's 13-year-old birthday party, there were fart jokes that they thought were hilarious that they didn't think this old man would get until I looked up at them and said, yes, it's a fart joke. It's
Yeah,
funny.
Right.
And they kind of looked at me like, oh, the old guy understands our language.
But we find different things funny.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And they have different things that go through their brains because they're 13.
Or just wind.
Right.
Is it going through there?
Whatever. And so that's one thing. And then
Yes.
secondly is the game. And I don't know how Kojo set it up. Like, okay, you're all a group of adventurers and you're going to go into this cavern because the king and queen sent you and you're in search for this specific ring or whatever. Right. I don't know the premise, right? How he established, like, you all want to lean on each other because if all of you die, then nobody's going to be able to survive to get the mission done or whatever that is. Oh,
I had the
okay.
distinct feeling that
It might not matter.
that the unrest started as soon as the character sheets were handed out. People started talking about what their character was.
That's better than me.
I've seen that
Right.
happen.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, what do you have? Oh, I want to steal the ring. I'm a thief. I steal her ring. Dude, hang on. I just put my screen down. I just handed out dice for y'all. Just hang on a second. Yeah, but I want to stop just a minute. I honestly, I really think, and this is a piece I have, so I'm going to step away from that for a second and go to adult game groups, guys I've run for and women I've run for. There's certain points when we're gaming. This last Delta Green game I ran on Saturday, going great, going really well. Something occurs, it's a bit of a slower pace, and Lenny goes, "Oh, that reminds me," and we all started trading stories. The game stopped dead for like 45 minutes, and all we talked about was just these stories. It was just stupid crap. Concerts, girlfriends,
Reminiscing.
It just was all, glory days bullshit of a bunch of 40-plus-year-old dudes.
Glory days.
Yeah, which is not that entertaining for
I'm on a roadside bar.
There you go. Yeah, you remember.
He was walking in, I was walking out.
Anyway, point is that at that moment, my group did not want to play. They did not want to play Delta Green right then. They really seriously want to talk about something. So let it run its course and say, okay, let's get back to the game.
So that's the adult method of, I want to kill this. I want to steal that. I want to ride on a pony and a unicorn.
At least in my experience, that's the grown-up version of, oh, shit, I'm old, haven't seen you guys in a month or two, and I just remembered I was going to ask you, can you come over and help me move a piano? You're like, the fuck does that have to do with anything? We were talking about the help action, and that reminded me, like, oh, for God's sakes, yes, I'll help you move a fucking piano. Stupid shit like that comes up. And I think because when you mentioned there's different things going on in other people's heads, and especially younger kids and whatnot, I think sometimes their attention span just isn't there. And what sounded like a really good idea 5 minutes ago may not seem like the same good idea. And it can be very hard to get them locked in. Not every kid is like my son, AJ, who would game until he fell over. I think he really, 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 really likes playing D&D. If he had a good D&D group and he was playing and having fun, he'd just keep playing. Loves that stuff. Not everybody's like that.
No.
And I've seen plenty of kids. This was a couple game clubs ago at my kid's school. They have a gaming club, and I went to run a game. And they had a kid who was so interested in it. He was super excited and very jacked up. And after the first encounter, when the combat stopped and it wasn't like one big long fight for 2 hours, he checked out, got up, and walked away. And then came back 45 minutes later, goes, "Oh, I'd like to play again." And I said, "What?" And AJ and the other kids who were really into it said, "No, we're almost done." They like turned their back on him because they're like, we're not dealing with you, kid. I think some people just, it's not that moment for them. And I think in the adult world, you'll be running a game with your buddies, the guys and gals you game with, and Mary's gonna say, "Oh my god, that reminds me of the stupid thing. This happened," you know. And Sean's like, "Oh my god, that reminds me of my stupid cat, that dumb lump. Oh, did you see that stupid internet meme? What?" And next thing you know, you're totally derailed. It's 2 hours later, and somebody's like, "Yeah, we should just get lunch. Let's take a let's just stop, get lunch, and we'll start gaming at whatever." This stuff happens. But I think that I don't know, when Kojo mentions it's a trend, I have not seen the trend so much in the kids that I've run for. So I'm not gonna say no, Kojo, it's not a trend. It may well be. But I honestly, and I do truly believe this, that we as gamers, if you look it up online and people, oh, you could do anything, all this stuff is possible, all this cool shit. And it's great. It's the golden age of gaming. There's tons and tons of cool stuff out there. But I think sometimes we bring that on ourselves by telling people, you just tell me what it is you want to do, and I'll tell you what you have to roll to make that happen, or some language thereon. And it may behoove us with newer gamers to say things like, look, you can do almost anything. By that I mean within genre, within the setting, within the rule set that we use by. There are certain things you can't do. This game doesn't have, you can't shoot someone in the eyeball. You just roll the hit and just do damage. The spells you have are the ones you have. You can't tweak them or modify them. Those are just, for simplicity's sake, that's what we're doing, or whatever the case is. And that might help. I don't know if that's the answer to Kojo's dilemma there or not. Kojo, I don't know if you want to call us back and talk about it anymore. But if nothing else, let's, even if you don't want to do anything more on the show here, man, I'd love to have you and I just spend some time at GaryCon this next year and hash it out. It could be interesting to hear more. Any more thoughts from you, Sean, on this? No?
No. Nope.
All right. So I think we're going to have to push our usual topic out because we're like 40 minutes in.
Okay.
Let's just push it out. That took up our time.
All right. No, that's fine.
I don't want to, otherwise we're going to go on for like 2 hours.
All right. So
Too
we're
long
going
for us
to
to-
die roll.
Yeah, let's just go over to die
All right.
roll. Let's just move on.
All right, die roll. Let's see. Not too many this week. One random dungeon generator. We'll have a link in the show notes. I posted it in the forums. Found it on Twitter, I think. Just hit refresh. That's all you do. Go to the URL. Don't like the dungeon that comes up? Just hit refresh.
I've heard about this. I've not looked at it. That's, oh my God.
It's-
Abandoned Library of the Shadow Baron. That looks interesting. Let's see. What's this one? Doodaloo. Swamp Monastery of the Shadow Prince. I don't know if I like that. That's pretty handy.
Yeah.
Nice looking maps too.
Yeah.
And each map has stuff. So like this one, room 2, gems hidden in a crack in the wall. Number 1, a large door is a keyhole in the western wall of the chamber. Number 4, a box holds a key. Just little adventure notes to give something special to certain rooms. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halls of the Vampire One. For several centuries, the Halls of the Vampire One were considered lost until recently were rediscovered by a gang of bandits. Neat. This is fucking cool. This is very cool. I will use this. Very, very nice.
Second one, Edwin Nagy is hosting an Extra Life event November 8th to the 9th. So if you haven't heard of Extra Life in the gaming sphere,
Get out
specifically,
from under whatever rock you're hiding under. God damn it.
Everybody's doing Extra Life. I thought it was during a specific time, but apparently people are just doing it whenever. I think there's
It's cool. It's a cool idea though. It's
Yes.
a great thing to do.
Yes. So Extra Life, what is Extra Life? Blah, 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 blah. It's really benefiting. And there's a lot of video games also that are involved. And Wizards is a big partner, Twitch, G Fuel, Humble Bumble, Rooster Teeth. But anyways, all like the money's raised for Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. So there's usually tons of tabletop gamers that are running events to raise money. People donate, and it's usually televised on Twitch. In this case, Edwin is running. He starts on the 8th. at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's going to run it for 24 hours of gaming. Something like 60 kids or something like that. I think 60 people he's running through.
Edwin's a damn good game master too.
He's an animal.
He is an animal, and he's a damn good game master. So it's that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be very cool.
Have you played in one of his games?
I have not, but I've talked to other people. I walked by a game he was running for us for Gaming BS. He covered for one of our game masters, wasn't able to make it, and I set him up at the table. He said, "Yeah, Brett, I got this." I came back in 15 minutes, and everyone was having a blast. Oh my god, he had them in the palm of his hand, like that. It was pretty cool to watch. Yep. Good dude. Good stuff.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I had for this week.
Okay.
So what are we talking about? Are we going to record next week?
Well, next week is let's do it
The
Monday.
last day of Game Hole.
Yeah, let's just do it Monday instead.
Ooh. We'll
Or
work
Tuesday.
We'll work something out.
We'll work something out. We'll figure it out.
Johnny,
But what I want to talk
Johnny
about,
has an allowance for gaming, and that
I know,
sometimes
I
taking
know.
up too much time is bad.
I know. Well, how about this? What we're going to talk about next time is how much we prep for a game.
Ah,
And because we've got a little bit of what we're doing for, how much we prep for this convention. I'm kind of curious as to how things go off for us because I'm going to do my usual amount. Sean's going to do his usual amount, which is like, oh my God, which I think everybody does at some point. We'll just kind of talk about what we did, how we did it, and then maybe a compare contrast to some of the campaign stuff because I have a feeling when I get right down to it, what I prepare for one shot isn't that much different than I do for a campaign. I don't think. We'll find out when we talk about it. Is that cool? You good with that?
Oh, sure, Brett.
Sure, Brett. Whatever, Brett. Shut up, man. You wrecked this episode. Fine, fuck off. Whatever.
Hey, if it wasn't for Kojo, we might not have one.
Well, I had a topic. We'll have to cover that one another time, though.
All right.
Cool.
Okay, dokie, ladies and gents. If you're going to be at Gaming and Game Hole, then we'll see you. If you're not, that's okay. We'll come to these airwaves.
Exactly.
Otherwise, I'm the SK.
And I'm Brett. Good night. Good game and all.
This episode of Gaming and BS brought to you with the help from the following BSers. Graham Miner, Corey Wynn, Hawk Sparrow, Larry Hout, Mark Tasaka, Pure Mongrel, Chris Steele, Ron Bishop, Thomas Hook, Wayne Humphrey, Craig, Brandon Barnes, Laramie Wall, Dan LaValle, Jason Hobbs, Sky, John Hammersley, Old School DM, Perry Besore, Michael Dinos, Jim Fitzpatrick, Christopher Gray, Bruce Cunnington, John Kayward, Corey Gonzalez, Eileen Barnes, Robert Nemeth, Niall Diamond, Howard Bishop, Stefan Dragonspawn, Mark Anthony Benedetti, Eric Salzweedle, Trevor Davis, Closet Gamer, Jeff Goad, Aaron Coleman, Ray Otis, C.W. Mellencamp, Craig Huber, Rich Wishon, Old Scouser Roleplaying, Jared Rasher, Andy Hall, David Baylog, Harrigan, Melissa Bashinsky, Brian Rumble, Henry Newcomb, Eric Talvola, Huss Carl, Roger Braslett, Chad Glayman, Finnolf, Josh Wallace, Mirko Froelich, Joe Swick, Curtis Takahashi, Kevin Lovecraft, Andy Olson, Tony Sugarloaf Baker, Jeff Seifert, and Aaron Ralia. For ways to support the show, head over to gamingnbs.com/support-us. Thanks, BSers! This has been a Litterbox Studio production.